Well, I thought they were kind of on the good
Well,
side.
Will will tell you all about whey protein.
Oh, do you want to know the history of the whey protein?
Yes, I do.
Do we have some time here?
Yes, we do. We have time.
Fantastic, because I got a story I want to tell, and I haven't told this very much. So, okay, so whey protein, whey, comes from cheese making. Okay? I know this because I used to haul milk from Minnesota to Wisconsin to a place, and you can go on Google Earth. It's called Twin Town Cheese Factory. They built this factory out in the middle of the country because they were tired of paying to get rid of the whey in the landfill and dumping it in Lake Michigan. And so they moved the factory, the whole cheese factory. You can go on Google Earth, look it up, Twin Town Cheese Factory in Wisconsin. They built it out in the country because they had the brilliant idea, instead of paying to get rid of the whey, they would irrigate the soil with it. And you can look on Google Earth, and there's pivots, which is the irrigation center pivot all around that area, that they take the cheese, the whey, and they were doing that through the 80s until they started destroying the chemistry of the soil. So then they built a bunch of pig barns, which if you look on Google Earth, it would be, I think, to the west of the Cheese Town factory, Twin Town Cheese Factory. There's a bunch of pig barns that were there, and they started raising pigs. But then they noticed that the pigs were getting cancers and dying and having all kinds of problems. So that's when I came into the picture, because that was in the early 90s when I would haul milk from Minnesota to the cheese factory, and because I was the young guy, I had to wait around till 2 a.m. to get my load of whey to go back to Minnesota to then go to Litchfield or Little Falls, Minnesota, to the dehydration plants, and it was only allowed to be put in milk replacer for animals until about 1995, when the dairy industry lobbied, just like the soybean industry did in the 60s, when it would turn a lubricant into a food item. Whey mysteriously became acceptable for human use. Okay,
We're here to pump you up.
Oh my God.
So do you know why when you take whey protein, you get pumped up? Because it's a neuromuscular toxin. And when you take it, it's the toxicity your liver and kidney have a really hard time processing it, and so it stores it intermuscularly, and you look jacked, man. Okay, and then you have 20 years of absolute crap science justifying its use, because now, just like coconut oil, just like soybean protein, we now have a revenue source instead of a liability paying to get rid of the crap. We now found a consumer to buy it that will pay dearly for it. And then, because of the Stockholm syndrome is so bad, they will berate your friends if you don't take it to get jacked as well.
I like mine flavored with chocolate.
Unbelievable.
I like
have
my
a whole-
toxins with chocolate.
And I just bought a whole, like those big ones that they sell you, 60 servings. Now I'm just like, the fuck am I gonna do with that?
You're going to find somebody at the gym you don't really care for, and because it's going to just kill your testosterone and give your willy.
Really?
What do you think toxins do in your body? So you're
everyone-
fighting a losing battle. You might as well just have a steak, get some real colostrum, grass-fed colostrum, and check out this thing that is called the regeneration kit, so you can get that junk out of you.
What about creatine? Is any of the synthetic creatine pretty good? You know how they sell it now in little container form? No? Keep it steak?
I prefer bacon, eggs, or a steak or something. I mean, why would you want to put these single element amino acids into your body? And see, this is where I don't know. I'm just weird. You guys
take
laugh
a
at me.
high grade. What he's telling you is, yeah, eat grass fed beef, eat free range chicken eggs, eat the real stuff, and find some grass fed beef colostrum for your aminos. That's the best you're going to do.
But we're designed to eat whole food. We're designed to eat whole food. This idea, and this is just marketing. This is just plain, industrial marketing to get you to buy something that has been basically like taking the meat or the milk or the whatever, they strip it all apart. They strip it down to each amino acid. Then they mix and blend and whatever, and they feed it back to you in a little bitty jar like this that costs $1,000. And so it's called there's a word for it. It's where they are increasing the value every time they process it. They say it increases the value. Well, it increases the value that they can charge you for, but it doesn't increase the nutritional value of anything, because you were designed to eat whole food again. We're not designed to eat creatine separate from leucine, separate from tryptophan, we're not designed that way. But then again, clinical science, it's all about stripping everything apart, identifying individually. Your stomach is separated from your little toe, which is totally not true, as you all know. I mean, so why not eat the whole food the way it's intended? That's my thing. I got more bodybuilders that use our stuff and our services that are all natural. They're leaner. I mean, they're definitely can run through the air faster than these whey drinking guys, but because they're leaner, but they're stronger. To me, the idea of strength doesn't come from volume. It comes from the amount of life force you got in you and the tension and the strength of your muscle strains, not in a huge collective, because that's bulky. I mean, I'm sure Pat could whip the ass on a heavyweight guy just because he's little and he's quick, versus these big Goliath guys that can't move, have really limited range of motions. And that's, to me, you can't win that way. That's all ego. That's because, you got a little something in your pocket that you should, wishing you had a bigger something in your pocket. That's all ego thing. Just
Little
saying.
dick dudes are dangerous. Little dick dudes are dangerous. So it sounds like Whey, they had this product. They're like, we got to do something with it. We're going to put it out. We're going to sell it to people. And this, to me, seems to be, regardless of what you think of RK Jr., seems to be the essence of his messages. Like, they're feeding us crap for profit. And the fact that that's allowed to happen in a proper economy, in a proper world, that wouldn't be allowed to happen. That somebody would be like, that's unhealthy, we're not putting that out.